Can you beat Minecraft on a skeleton horse? Sounds stupid, right? But the more I thought about it, the more I realized no one's actually done it. Or at least not on YouTube. So today, I'm gonna try. Just me, a skeleton horse named Mr. Ribs, and a completely unnecessary challenge. What could go wrong? I began by setting up the run. I summoned a skeleton horse trap, killed the skeletons and all the horses, except for one, which I then saddled and rode. I switched my game mode to survival, and then saved and quit, so that cheats were then turned off. After those shenanigans, I realized that I was on top of a mountain, which I then rode down and began to mine up some trees. I then opened my inventory to try and turn them into planks, when I realized I couldn't. The dumb horse inventory removes the crafting table and armor HUD. This meant the only way to craft anything was with the crafting table. So that was my main goal right now. I started running around and found a ruined portal, which had good loot. A sword, a shovel, some boots, obsidian, and fire charges. I then opened my map and found a village upwards, which I then started to head towards. After I reached, I found some food, collected some beds, and found 2 blacksmiths, containing a full set of iron armor, some gold, and iron. It was then starting to get dark, so I went inside a house and waited for daytime. Don't worry, I didn't just stare at the screen for 10 minutes. I did some schoolwork and watched some videos, so it was very productive. After it became day, I left the house to go to the nearby pillager outpost. I swear, so many villages on Java and Bedrock have pillager outposts within 200 blocks of them. Is it like a coded feature or something? Or are all my worlds super lucky? To make raiding the outpost a bit easier, I changed my game mode to peaceful to try and avoid dealing with pillagers. In one of the tents, I found a crafting table, which I promptly mined, then mined up some of the wool in which it once stood, so I could use them for beds in the dragon fight. I then went into one of the cages and killed the golem. I crafted an iron pickaxe, an iron axe, a bucket, and a shield, then went inside the tower. I had to mine my way in and up the stairs, as the horse's hitbox is massive. Inside, I found some string, a crossbow, some wheat, logs, and iron, all pretty useful. I then mined up some gravel for flint to use for arrows. And then I traveled to the nearby village, killing the golem and gaining some food. I then crafted said arrows after killing some chickens. Again, it was getting dark, and although I was prepared to use the nearby lava pool to go to the Nether, I knew it would become night by the time I finished. So I mined myself into a wall and waited for day, doing the exact same thing as last time. I then made my Nether portal and went in. Well, this Nether isn't off to a good start. I spawned in what is possibly the worst place, on some soul sand, above a lava lake, 100 blocks in the sky. So that was fun getting out of. I had to mine my way into a wall, then mine into a nearby clearing, then mine down from that into the main Nether. While doing that, my iron pick broke, forcing me to make stone ones, and making the slow journey even slower. After getting through that, I saw a fortress, and thought, maybe this Nether isn't all bad. I then found a piglin and traded my limited gold with him. As I didn't get what I wanted, a fire resistance potion to make the blaze fight easier, I mined up a lot more gold, and after trading it with him, I still got nothing. Then I went into the fortress, not to fight blazes, but to loot chests. And after looting some of the chests, I got a decent amount of gold. But he still didn't give me a potion. So I had to mine even more gold, and then I finally got it. I then went into the fortress, finding the spawner and killing a bunch of blazes to get my 6 rods. Then I went to the nearby warped forest and got 12 pearls. No point getting extra, as whenever you try to throw them on a horse, you just dismount, and you don't even go to where you threw it. After having difficulties getting back to my precarious portal, I used chunk base to find the stronghold, then rode to it, stopping for the occasional village and pillager outpost. When I eventually reached the stronghold, I began to dig down, and kept digging for 10 minutes, cause Mr. Rib's hitbox is massive. You would think someone made only of ribs would be thin, but this dude's a chungus. After getting his massive ass into the portal room, I broke the silverfish spawner, crafted my eyes, organized my inventory, and went in. I spawned on the obsidian platform, which, sadly, was outside the end island, so I had to bridge to the main island somehow. Normally, this would be extremely hard, maybe even impossible, so I used FreeCam to build to the bridge. Then I walked across it. Coal mine methods what you will, but as far as I can see, this is the only way to do it without getting more mods. After reaching the main island, I used my crossbow and arrows I got from piglins in the overworld to shoot down most of the crystals. I ran out of arrows before I could do the last one though, so I had to pillar up for that. I had a backup so I could retry this as many times as needed, and I needed many times. I died so many times that I developed a strategy to avoid the dragon. Okay, the strategy is this dragon over here, it would come down and perch, and then while it was perching, I would pillar up. But when I reached the top and destroyed the crystal, then this dragon would stop perching and it would come towards me. But because I'm up there on the top of the thing, I couldn't avoid it, and it would move out. That way, after that, I could just pillar down safely. After that, I allowed my horse to gain full health before attacking the dragon. I used beds to do a lot of damage to it, then used my axe for the rest. The portal came up and I jumped in, ending this challenge. Psych! It turns out you can't go through the return portal on a skeleton horse. It raises your hitbox so that it is physically impossible, as far as I know, to go through. So to answer the question at the start, no, you cannot beat the game on a skeleton horse. Sorry. Go watch the video on screen. YouTube thinks you will like it.
Yeah.